Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Tyler from the Halo Collective, and we're here with another Halo 5 Guardians opinion video. Yeah, let's get into it. What we're going to be covering in this video is the question that, I hope some people have been thinking. Should Microsoft give 343 more time to develop Halo games? Because if you do a little bit of digging and do a little bit of research, apparently there were a lot of unused ideas and elements for Halo 5 that were supposed to be in the game, but weren't included, and the most likely reason for that would be time restraints. One of these, including that we're going to touch up on, the main point is visuals. Now, there's no denying, Halo 5 Guardians is a beautiful game. It looks amazing. But there were some things that were meant to be included, and it could have looked better with these things included. For example, Meridian. Now I know what you're thinking. Tyler, Meridian is a glassed planet with bad records. That shit's, what are you expecting? Like there's not gonna be, sweeping landscapes and magical fucking fairy tale lands of grass and trees and jungles and shit on a glass planet. Now, yes, I agree with you there. Meridian is meant to have a dull gray look to it. Saying that Meridian is dumb because it's dull and gray is like saying that Fallout 3 is dumb because it's dull and gray. Both of these worlds are meant to look like wastelands. However, looking back to 343 and what they said that Meridian was going to have, they said that Meridian was going to have ash falling from the sky. Constant fog that envelops the player as you're going, and seas of lava. But those just aren't in the game. Well, there are little lava points, but those are pre-built levels when Locke and Osiris go under the ground. Where did these things go? And how amazing would have Meridian have been if those things were included? Now, obviously, those ideas are too good to pass up, but in the world of game development, there are some things you have to sacrifice in order to meet the deadline. Something tells me that if they spent that much time working on Meridian, because you have to remember, there are 5 different environment types in Halo 5 in the campaign, and if they spent just a little more extra time on any of them, then they wouldn't have been able to meet the deadline that Microsoft gave them, and then other aspects of the game might have suffered. In addition to this, more proof that Microsoft just isn't giving 343 a big enough window of time to develop their games for whatever reason, lies within the fact that there's one part in the campaign, the info I'm given doesn't exactly specify, but it's the Blue Team mission and the Locke vehicle one. Now which Blue Team mission it is, I think it's the one right after Locke and Chief punch each other in the face for a bit. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. That's my best guess. If I'm a complete retard, which I usually am, then, correct me in the comments. But there's a part where you can stand on something and change the skybox completely because they meshed the Blue Team mission and the Locke vehicle mission together. They can't even make a full game without reusing aspects. Now, not giving them shit for this, as a lot of games reuse aspects now, but also, that is also because, the devs don't give them enough time to fully flesh out the games that they want to make. Now, I'm going to address the point of, the fact that 343, they're not exactly given much less time to develop their games, as Bungie was, by, saying that game development nowadays is a lot different than game development was, say, in 2010. Because in 2010, the 360 in 2010 to 2012, 3 years ago with Halo 4 and stuff, basically, the devs have finally started tapping the limits of the 360. 3 years was a perfectly, that was more than enough time to make something, really awesome for that console. But now that we're on next gen, devs need more time to kind of break into that tech and find out what makes it tick and how to use it to its fullest extent. Because, in my opinion, giving devs basically oh, you're making a game for a new, more powerful console than the last console, but here you only get the same amount of time to develop it, that seems kind of redundant because, as is evident with Halo 5 and the examples that I put out, that they wanted to include more, but the window of time is just not enough for them to put in those extra little things that would have made the game super cool, spectacular, amazing, yeah, oh, yeah, cool. Proof of this would be Halo 2 Anniversary. Now, that might be a little bit redundant because Saber Interactive, the guys who, redid it, basically they were given, like, I'm not sure how long the Master Chief Collection dev was for, but let's just say 3 years. Let's just use 3 years as an example, as that's the standard dev time for AAA games. Basically Saber was given 3 years to, just do visuals, and was given a dev cycle to just up the textures to HD quality and improve the lighting. And look how that turned out. Halo 2 Anniversary, it looks incredible. It's amazing. Like, there's no, like, sugarcoating it. Halo 2 Anniversary is an absolute masterpiece visually. But that's because Saber Interactive got time to do it. And now 343 had to build a game from the ground up in that same time, so they weren't able to polish the visuals to that degree. Now, imagine what Halo 5 would have looked like if, say, 343 got 5 years to work on it as opposed to 3. That would have been incredible, and that's the point I'm making. Not just 343, but a lot of AAA devs. Give your developers more time to make your games. Now, Microsoft, I know your whole business practice and stuff, and I know that you have deadlines to meet, but just give them more time. Like, you can't just keep on, stop writing 343. Stop giving them these deadlines because they're not able to fit in stuff. Microsoft, stop it. That's not a ride. That's not a ride, Microsoft. But you know how they are. Like, once they give you a deadline, it's not getting delayed. You basically, does the game turn on? Can you press start and something will happen? Okay, ship it out. Master Chief Collection is proof of this. That Microsoft, they don't really give a shit about the creative aspects and whatnot. They just like, does the game turn on? Does it work? Can we sell it? Okay, then get it out the door. Put it in later in patches. But basically the point is, not just 343, all AAA developers, please, publishers, this goes to Microsoft, Sony, Activision. Well, how long was Destiny in production for, am I right? But whatever, Activision, all AAA publishers, just give your developers more time to develop games. It doesn't because, EA, this is a big one to EA too. But because if you give your devs more time, then the games will be awesome, and the games will sell on quality alone, and this is something that a lot of publishers need to learn. If a game is good, people will buy it. That's all I have to say. Like, if the game is good, people will buy it. Make good games. Stop saying like, we need to have like a pattern of 3 years. No, you don't. This is next gen. Anything is a lot more is possible with the technology, but I don't know if we're ever going to truly see this because publishers just don't give their developers enough time to make something that truly realizes the potential of this new hardware. And that's a real shame because, as I said, there are a ton of possibilities. So bottom line, Microsoft, just give 343 more time. Come on. 343 is made up not just Bungie members, like there's only a handful of Bungie members there, but it's made up of a bunch of veterans from the gaming community. Like, I remember reading a huge article about how some guys from Retro Games, the guys who made Metroid Prime, quit Retro Games to come work for 343. There are a ton of very, very talented people, but their talent isn't gonna show if you don't give them, the means to use their talent. Let these talented people be talented, goddammit! Alright. And with that, I'm gonna wrap up this rant. I did this unscripted. I think I was supposed to script it, but I don't know. Alright, my name is Tyler, and be sure to tune in to us, the Halo Collective, for news and entertainment on anything and everything Halo.